Hi, I'm Timothy Mitchell. I am here at the Mimaki facility in Atlanta, Georgia, roughly my hometown. I'm here today in front of this phenomenal UV printer, what I call heavy iron printer, and I'm here with my old friend, Louis Jones. Louis,
hey.
How are you?
Always good to see you.
Nice.
Roughly my hometown.
Your
too.
hometown as well.
Stone Mountain.
Yep. That's right. So we're here in Atlanta. We're at the Mimaki facility. I encourage you all to come if you get a chance, because it's a beautiful facility with all of their product lines. And I want to take a moment to go over the big dog in the UV portfolio for roll-to-roll. Now, this is your 3.2 meter, which is to American mind is 10 foot.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
But we can print to that full roll of media, or you can split it up and do dual roll, 2 separate images on 60-inch media at the same time.
All right. I'm assuming when somebody goes to this, they have 2 things in mind. One is either I got to get big because I have jobs that have to go 10 foot. Like I have a job in my studio right now that I have paneled. It doesn't look good. It needs to be a single image all the way across in a single sheet. So I need a 3.2 meter printer to do this on fabric, which you can do with this printer.
Absolutely. This is made for backlit signage. So backlit fabric, even though it's UV, you can get those like thinner backlit fabric that's made for the light box behind it, or banners, thin, clear material, anything that will eventually be larger, like fleet graphics. This machine can handle it and get those panels built together and still have a same running image clean together.
Got it. So as I understand it, I can either do a full 3.2, full 10 foot, or I can do dual roll and use this as a dual roll printer, or I could just put a 54 60-inch roll if I chose to and put that on. So as width goes in the UV platform, this is going to give you the fullest width and all of your different options for people.
Absolutely. And I do want to stress, if you're doing that dual roll, you are not limited to the same image. You can have 2 separate images printing at the exact same time, or just one of those sides printing while you're working on the other one. You're not limited when using this machine.
So in a sense, this printer, which is the UJV55, and the last numbers is a 320, which is 3.2 meter.
Absolutely, that metric system.
Right, that's right, that metric system. This printer is the most versatile in a sense, because you're going to get all the things you can do with the smaller UV roll-to-roll printers, except now you can go wide and do all the variances.
Yeah, the layering, the versatility of media that it can handle, immediate treatment, so instant dry, instant cure, no heat, all of that available to you on this machine. Same kinds of ink, same ink systems, just with a larger machine.
Exactly what I was thinking. Now, when I'm going into the different applications, and you mentioned some, the fabric backlit, I'm looking at things like what you have on here right now is banner, just a standard banner, which can be, because UV has no heat profile, LED UV, I can run super thin, super smooth banner, no deformation whatsoever. A lot of other technologies struggle with that super smooth stuff, especially the thin and the inexpensive stuff. You start putting a little heat on there, it just starts warping, and now it's not a smooth banner anymore. It's sort of a rippled banner. You guys are nice and smooth on all that. So banner of all types.
Absolutely.
Then you can do backlit banner. You know, you can do backlit with just color, or you can use daylight white. You know, you can do CMYK white, CMYK, and give that a really great pop. That's an option, no?
Right, absolutely.
Okay. It is. And then also you have all of your different kinds of films, you know, like Lintech and optically clear, because it has the white channels. You can use white ink on all that stuff.
Our white ink is very durable, and it can stand up outside, and will make any color put on top of it pop. We love our white ink for any application that you're using.
Yeah, I like your white ink too. I especially like the circulation system that you have for your white ink. Now, you mentioned white ink, and that brings me to Mimaki's circulation system, which is, when I look at white ink, I look at what is the engineering and how does it handle the way white ink circulates. And I think that's something Mimaki does very well, and why I look to them to handle white ink properly.
Absolutely. All of our roll-to-roll machines, any of our machines have the circulation system to keep those inks fresh. On the 55 in general, it has the bulk ink system, so it has sort of a reservoir at the bottom instead of the bottles or cartridges. It just has a reservoir for each channel, so it keeps that ink circulating in that reservoir, so the ink will last a lot longer with this machine than most.
Ah, fantastic. And you mentioned bulk ink. That only makes sense because you got the big dog printer.
Absolutely.
You want to have some larger amounts of ink because you're going to be printing longer runs, larger runs, bigger prints.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Another thing about it, I wanted to ask software. So as I understand it, it comes with Rasterlink 7, which I have used. I'm very fond of, very easy.
Free whenever you get any of our machines. Any updates to that software is available online as well.
Okay, so you always have Rasterlink and all the profiles and everything for it. But also, you guys are very compatible with third-party products like Onyx, Flexi, you know, the other RIPs on the market that people may choose to use. Because somebody in this market, you know, a big printer like this probably maybe has some printers already, and they're looking to go big.
Absolutely.
And they're going to have a workflow, and it might not be Rasterlink, it might be Onyx, for example.
And if you're using Onyx, if you're using Flexi, we have a range of profilers right now working to get new profiles out there for all of the RIPs in the market. We want to make sure that any workflow that you have set up, Mimaki can work with that.
Fantastic, because I think third-party software is, you know, it's a frank reality of how the market is, and I'm glad to see Mimaki is well aware of that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You also seem to have some backlit features. You have what looks to be a proofing light that's right behind here.
Yes, standard on this machine. I think people are familiar with the UJV55-320. No, that light is optional, but on this, it's standard because this is known to be what people use for backlit signage. So we want to make sure that on these larger rolls that you're using, you don't have to print an entire image, take it to the light box, and then realize that your inks are off. We want to make sure that you can do those adjustments right here with only just a quick bar, make those adjustments, start printing again.
As far as ink configurations, I think the ink configuration that I see on this is CMYK, light cyan, light magenta, and then white. That seems to be the standard layout for this particular printer.
Absolutely. We found that ink set, the CMYK, light cyan, light magenta, and white, can handle any application that this machine can handle.
A thing that I note about this printer that I find so remarkable about it, and it is great technology. It has industrial piezo print heads, beautiful, fine, small gradient drops. The print head is sort of a legendary print head in the market. It has all of the hallmarks I see in a technology from printers that are considerably more expensive. I mean, in many cases, double. And the particular thing I find surprising is that this printer sits at this price point and there's almost no competition. There's like not another printer on the market today that I can think of that is giving you all of these options anywhere close to this price point. So to me, it has its own category, which is entry-level 3.2, because there is no entry-level 3.2 anywhere close to the price that this is. So to me, it's the best value on the market.
So far, you are right, it doesn't have any competition for its price point, and really wanted to focus more on providing customers with the machine that can handle those large graphics, and we were less concerned about like the price point, more wanted to get this technology out there. So this machine can handle all kinds of different features. It can do the things that UV is known for, the layering, instant drying, instant cured, ready to cut, ready to work with other softwares, ready to work with other cutters, and still be affordable to customers. So we're really proud of this machine.
Yeah, you should be, because in this 3.2 liter space and what I get for the money, I can get a 10-foot printer that does all of these things and does them well and has, you know, legendary Mimaki durability and reliability behind it, and then has it at a price point that I frankly am kind of surprised by. And when I first heard the number, I went, what's wrong with it? What's it missing? And then I go look through all the specs and there's really nothing missing. I mean, no, it's not as fast as a, you know, $400,000 printer, but it does all the same things as the $400,000 printer.
And you are, the speed that you are losing out on, you're making up with the instant drying. So
Yeah.
that's always something to factor in when you're working out what setup you should be using.
Yeah, and pretty much it's not universal, but overwhelmingly all the biggest players in the industry at the higher price points are all using UV and piezo. And in many cases, they're using the same print heads I have here. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Louis, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for showing me the big dog here, the UJV55.
Absolutely, yeah.
320, 3.2 meter.
Got that right.
Folks, if you're interested in this particular grand format printer, and you should be, because sooner or later you're going to need to do bigger prints. This is the best way to get them done. It's the best value on the market, and you can find out all about it by calling 1-800-4-LexJet or LexJet.com.